Welcome back to Today we will learn about the shocking evidence that proves Sophia Choi is essentially Jan Spears 2.0, a dangerous manipulator who threatens to destroy lives in Salem just like her predecessor did decades ago. The master manipulator returns. The residents of Salem should be deeply concerned, as history appears to be repeating itself with devastating precision. Sophia Choi has emerged as a formidable force of destruction, wielding manipulation tactics that mirror the most notorious schemer in days of our lives' history, Jan Spears. The parallels between these two characters are not mere coincidence but represent a calculated pattern of obsessive behavior that has plagued Salem for generations. Recent developments have revealed Sophia's true nature as she orchestrates elaborate schemes designed to tear apart the relationship between Holly Jonas and Tate Black. Her transformation from Holly's trusted best friend into her greatest enemy demonstrates the same psychological instability and ruthless determination that made Jan Spears one of Salem's most feared villains. Similarity 1: Obsessive pursuit of unavailable men. The most striking parallel between Sophia and Jan lies in their relentless pursuit of men who are clearly committed to other women. Jan Spears spent decades obsessing over Sean Brady, despite his unwavering love for Belle Black. Her fixation became so intense that it consumed every aspect of her existence, driving her to commit increasingly desperate and dangerous acts to win his affections. Sophia has demonstrated the exact same disturbing pattern with Tate Black. Despite Tate's obvious devotion to Holly Jonas, Sophia refuses to accept reality and continues to pursue him with frightening determination. Her recent interrogation of Holly about the intimate details of her relationship with Tate reveals the depth of her unhealthy obsession and mirrors Jan's invasive behavior toward Sean and Belle's relationship. This obsessive behavior represents more than simple romantic jealousy, it demonstrates a fundamental inability to respect boundaries or accept rejection. Both women view their targets as possessions to be won rather than individuals with autonomous choices, leading to increasingly erratic and dangerous behavior patterns. Similarity 2: Weaponizing blackmail and manipulation. The most chilling similarity between these two characters lies in their masterful use of blackmail as a primary weapon. Jan Spears pioneered the art of psychological manipulation in Salem, using everything from kidnapping to deception to achieve her goals. She held people prisoner, both physically and emotionally, through carefully orchestrated schemes designed to destroy their relationships and bend them to her will. Sophia has adopted these same tactics with modern efficiency. Her current blackmail scheme involving compromising photographs represents a sophisticated evolution of Jan's manipulation techniques. The psychological terror she inflicts on Holly through these threats demonstrates her willingness to destroy innocent lives to achieve her selfish objectives, exactly mirroring Jan's approach to eliminating romantic rivals. Both women understand that true power comes not from physical force but from psychological control. They expertly identify their victims' vulnerabilities and exploit them mercilessly, creating webs of deception that trap multiple innocent people in their schemes. Similarity 3: Betraying sacred friendships. Perhaps the most heartbreaking parallel between Sophia and Jan involves their willingness to destroy genuine friendships for personal gain. Jan's history includes betraying the trust of numerous Salem residents who believed they were helping a troubled young woman. She manipulated Mimi Lockhart and others into becoming unwilling accomplices in her schemes, destroying their relationships and reputations in the process. Sophia's betrayal of Holly represents an even more devastating breach of trust. The two young women were best friends, sharing secrets and supporting each other through difficult times. However, Sophia's jealousy and obsession transformed her from Holly's protector into her greatest threat, proving that she values her selfish desires above genuine human connection. This pattern reveals a fundamental character flaw shared by both women: their inability to maintain authentic relationships. They view friendships as strategic alliances to be exploited rather than meaningful bonds built on mutual respect and trust. Similarity 4: Using pregnancy and intimacy as weapons. One of the most disturbing similarities between Sophia and Jan involves their exploitation of pregnancy and sexual intimacy as manipulation tools. Jan Spears famously used fake pregnancies and sexual deception to trap Sean Brady, going so far as to impersonate Bell Black during intimate moments. Her willingness to violate the most sacred aspects of human relationships demonstrates the depths of her moral corruption. Sophia appears to be following this same destructive playbook. Her involvement in a teen pregnancy storyline and her invasive questions about Holly and Tate's intimate relationship suggest she plans to weaponize sexuality in her schemes. Recent developments indicate she may attempt to use pregnancy or sexual manipulation to drive a wedge between the young couple, exactly as Jan did with Sean and Belle. This exploitation of pregnancy and intimacy represents the ultimate violation of human dignity and trust. Both women demonstrate a willingness to corrupt the most beautiful aspects of human relationships, love, trust, and the creation of new life, in service of their selfish obsessions. Similarity 5, Master of elaborate deception schemes. The final and most comprehensive similarity between Sophia and Jan lies in their ability to orchestrate complex, multi-layered deception schemes. Jan Spears was legendary for her elaborate plots, including kidnapping schemes, identity theft, and psychological manipulation campaigns that spanned months or even years. Her cage imprisonment of Sean Brady and her impersonation of Bell Black represent masterclasses in criminal manipulation. Sophia has demonstrated the same capacity for long-term strategic thinking and execution. Her current blackmail campaign against Holly represents only the beginning of what appears to be a comprehensive plan to destroy the young woman's relationship and reputation. The calculated nature of her actions, combined with her ability to maintain a facade of innocence, proves she possesses the same dangerous intelligence that made Jan so formidable. Both women excel at playing multiple angles simultaneously, manipulating various people and situations to achieve their ultimate goals. They demonstrate remarkable patience and cunning, often allowing their schemes to develop over extended periods before striking with devastating effectiveness. The dangerous legacy continues. The emergence of Sophia as Salem's newest master manipulator represents a terrifying continuation of Jan Spears' legacy. Her adoption of Jan's tactics, combined with modern technology and social media manipulation, makes her potentially even more dangerous than her predecessor. The residents of Salem must recognize the threat she represents before more innocent lives are destroyed by her schemes. The evidence clearly demonstrates that Sophia Choi has become Jan Spears 2.0, a calculating predator who will stop at nothing to achieve her selfish objectives. Her transformation from friend to enemy, her obsessive pursuit of Tate Black, and her willingness to destroy Holly's life through blackmail all point to a disturbing pattern that Salem has seen before. The question now is whether anyone will recognize the danger in time to stop her before she inflicts the same level of devastation that Jan Spears brought to countless lives throughout her reign of terror. Next, we're diving into an unusual but surprisingly entertaining question. If our favorite Salem residents were to become roommates, who would make the best fit? And even more intriguing, who would be the best cuddler? Anyone who has ever lived with a roommate knows that it can be both a blessing and a challenge. Sharing a home means sharing space, schedules, moods, and sometimes even secrets. For many of us, finding that perfect roommate was a dream that didn't always come true. Yet, just imagining which characters in Salem could handle living under the same roof opens the door to a delightful conversation. The cast of Days of Our Lives was recently asked this exact question, and their answers were both sweet and surprising. Sal Stowers, Lonnie's pick for the perfect roommate. First up was actress Sal Stowers, who plays the beloved Lonnie. Sal didn't hesitate before picking Kristen as Lonnie's ideal roommate. After all, the two women are incredibly close, almost like sisters. Sal explained, "My girl Kristen, but she's Lonnie's best friend." The choice makes perfect sense for longtime viewers. Kristen and Lonnie have shared countless emotional moments on screen, offering one another strength during times of personal struggle. Imagine them as roommates, late-night talks on the couch, cooking meals together, and supporting each other through Salem's never-ending drama. But Sal also offered a second option, Sarah, played by Lindsay Godfrey. When Lindsay heard that, she smiled and agreed wholeheartedly. Lonnie and Sarah would be great roommates. The thought of Lonnie and Sarah sharing a home is indeed intriguing. Both are caring and loyal, but each has her own spark of independence. That combination could lead to a household filled with warmth, laughter, and plenty of good-natured banter. Stacey Hayduke, Kristen's wish. Speaking of Kristen, actress Stacey Hayduke gave her own heartfelt answer. She thought Kristen could benefit from having Brady as a roommate. Stacey explained, "I think Kristen needs to get back together or at least be friends again." For longtime Days fans, this idea tugs at the heartstrings. Kristen and Brady's relationship has always been complicated, often fiery, but also filled with undeniable chemistry. Living together again, even just as friends, could soften Kristen's harder edges and remind Brady of the good in her. Imagine the quiet evenings where they might finally find common ground, sitting across from each other in the DiMera living room, hand in hand, like the many emotional scenes fans remember. Eric Martsolf, Brady's cuddly side. When it came time for actor Eric Martsolf to answer for Brady, he offered something more playful. With a twinkle in his eye, he suggested Stephanie. He added cheekily, "I think she'd be a great cuddler," before giving a little wink. That comment drew laughter, and actress Abigail Klein, who plays Stephanie, couldn't resist jumping in. She playfully responded, "Glad to see Steph's cuddling thing making waves, top notch, can confirm Eric Martsolf." Fans who know Stephanie's kind and affectionate nature might just agree. She has the right balance of compassion and energy, making her a comforting presence for someone like Brady. And as for the cuddling comment? Well, it seems both castmates and fans alike are willing to give Stephanie the crown in that category. Paul Telfer, Xander's surprising pick. Next came actor Paul Telfer, who portrays the often misunderstood but always entertaining Xander. Rather than choosing Sarah, his on-again, off-again love, Paul gave a surprising answer, Jack. Paul explained, "I feel like the best roommate for Xander would probably be Jack. Jack is, more tolerant of jerks, he used to be one himself." This answer may have been unexpected, but it's incredibly fitting. Jack Devereaux has had his share of questionable choices in the past, yet he's grown into a wise and forgiving man. Sharing a home with Jack would likely keep Xander in check, offering him guidance when needed, but also patience when Xander's mischievous side rears its head. Fans can just imagine the two sitting in the Horton living room, sharing a laugh, and maybe even a heartfelt hug, a softer side of Xander that only a trusted friend like Jack could bring out. Lamont Archie, Eli's ideal roommate. Another cast favorite, Lamont Archie, who will be returning to the show this fall, gave his thoughts on who would be best for Eli. His answer was simple yet powerful, Abe. Abe's calm. He's level-headed. He's laid back, Lamont explained. So Abe, you'd be the best guy for me, for sure. Indeed, Abe Carver has long been a cornerstone of Salem, offering wisdom, stability, and kindness to nearly everyone he encounters. For Eli, who has faced his share of turmoil, Abe would be the steady presence needed to make a household truly feel like home. Their bond as family only strengthens this choice, making Abe the type of roommate anyone would be blessed to have. Roommates, cuddlers, and fan favorites. What makes these answers so enjoyable is that they let us see the softer, more personal side of the Salem characters. While the show often thrives on conflict, secrets, and shocking twists, these playful, roommate, pairings remind us that the characters also have qualities of love, humor, and companionship. The thought of roommates in Salem might even inspire some fun daydreams. Kristen and Lonnie sharing a girls' night with wine and laughter. Brady and Stephanie on the couch, caught in a playful cuddle war. Jack giving Xander advice over breakfast while the latter pretends not to listen. Eli and Abe sharing quiet conversations on the porch, the calm of the evening washing over them. These little, what-if, scenarios let fans imagine Salem not as a town of constant chaos, but as a place where friends and family find comfort in each other's presence. Now it's your turn. We've heard from the stars, but what about you? Which Salem character would you want as a roommate? Would you prefer someone calm and steady, like Abe? Or someone with an adventurous spirit, like Sarah? And when it comes to cuddling, who do you think would win the crown? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments, because in a world as wild as Salem, even the simplest questions can spark the most delightful conversations.